So let's react to this Welsh team named nice and early by Warren Gatland, as he often does. I've put it up against a probable English team where I've only made one change, with Ellis Genge returning from injury to the bench. I don't think Borthwick will make that many changes, although I did select quite a few changes in my England team that I would select. But let's get into this Welsh team, which was probably always going to have quite a lot of changes because that first half was very poor. But of course, was it just the bad call by Gatland to play the slow kicking game that killed them a bit, or was it the execution and poor intensity from the players? Either way, some of those first half players have indeed paid the price for sure. I mean, you could say maybe it was Scotland that were too good in that first half, but whatever it was, lots of changes, in fact 7 changes. So let's get into it from the back. Cameron Winnett goes again to win his second cap. I mean, this youngster, it didn't quite go for him in that first half, didn't quite execute the kicking game as well as he'd have liked, but he did show his quick feet. He's got great skills, worth another start. We do have Kai Evans on the bench, who is there to kind of cover 10, but I wouldn't be surprised if he came on and had a crack at 15 as well. Winnett's still very young indeed. Evans, 24, a bit bigger, a bit stronger. Maybe physically he's a bit more ready, but be interesting to see what happens at 15, whether Winnett gets replaced or not, but more experience for the youngster there. In the centres, good news for Wales. George North is back. I mean, it is harsh on Watkin, but Watkin's no George North. North just coming straight back in after injury, 118 caps, and he was amazing in the World Cup with Nick Tompkins. What a pairing they were in the World Cup. They're back together. I mean, Tompkins went on a bit of a one-man mission to try and bring Wales back into it in that Scotland game. Now he's got his buddy North alongside him. Big plus for Wales. Definitely danger to watch out for England, who are a little bit light in the centres, not settled at all. Josh Adams, Rio Dyer, they go again on the wings. Adams didn't have the greatest game. He was struggling with a leg injury, so hopefully he'll be fitter and can show what he can actually do in this game. Dyer rarely does anything wrong for Wales. He's very nippy, very good. So it's the subs to start this week at halfback. Thomas Williams and Ioan Lloyd both performed very well off the bench last week, so no surprise, although Gareth Davies hasn't just dropped down to the subs, he's dropped out completely. I don't think he's injured, so Hardy replacing him is a straight drop, so that's pretty tough to take for him. Ioan Lloyd replaces Costello, who I think is injured. I think he's got an HIA, something like that. So I don't think that's a straight drop for Costello. But it is all changed in the front row. Gareth Thomas is back from injury and he's straight in. Domachowski dropped to the bench. D again replaces Elias. He's dropped to the bench. And it's all changed in the front row as well, with Gareth Thomas coming straight into the loose head. He's back from injury. Domachowski is benched. D replaces Elias. Elias benched. D had a good impact off the bench for sure. Young Archie Griffin is on the bench because we do have an injury to Leon Brown. And I did say before that game against Scotland, this is kind of a make or break for Leon Brown's career. Unfortunately, the injury hasn't helped, but we'll see if he can get back into it. But that's a tough blow. Played in that poor half and got injured. David Jenkins, the young captain, goes again. Tough first game. Tough to lose your first game against Scotland. Going to Twickenham's not going to be easy, so yeah, it's going to be a tough championship for him, but he's got a good mindset there. I think he can take it. A big plus for Wales as Will Rowlands comes back in. He wasn't available last week. Unlucky for Teddy Williams to miss out, but Rowlands' experience, he's a class player playing in France at the moment for Racing 92, and indeed he uses the Lifting Giants Lifting Blocks who sponsor this video. They definitely help with the lift, help with the hand placement. The lockout is being scientifically tested, so if you want to get hold of some of those, like Will Rowlands use, like loads of players use these days, there's a code RugbyAnalyst10 to get yourself 10% off from the website. Check out the description below if you want to get hold of some of those. Tane Basham is back. He's on the bench. He brings some serious impact and he wants to reignite his Welsh career. He's got 16 caps already. It's faltered a little bit, but can he get back into the fold? Hardy, we mentioned, replaces Gareth Davies, who drops out completely. Kai Evans covers 15 and 10. Only one cap. It's going to be very interesting to see how he's used. We've also got Big Mason Grady on the bench. Unlucky to start maybe, but he's going to bring a lot of power off the bench. I think maybe onto the wing rather than the centres. I doubt they'll try and break up Tompkins and North that much, depending on North's fitness of course. Maybe Grady comes on for Adams if he's struggling, or if he comes on for Dyer. That's two very powerful wingers. So one thing's for sure, Wales will definitely not start as slowly as they did last week. They're going to bring it, see if they can upset England, and England aren't exactly rocking at the moment. They're not settled, so Could be a chance for an upset. We'll see. England are the favourites, but it's going to be a great contest. Let me know what you think of that Welsh team. Comments below, and I'll catch you next time.